The Bench is your first ever series, and there are 7 episodes in which you sit on a bench in Sheffield every night and you ask passers-by a random question, and it could be about life, love, ambition, anything. I think the concept of The Bench is amazing. Like, the whole reason I wanted to be a journalist was because I literally do believe that every person in this world does have a different refreshing story to tell. What inspired you to do this series?
That. Next question. So that is it. It's weird. I'm weirdly comfortable in my own, like, my friends talk about it all the time. I can go weeks without seeing another human. Like, my own space is one of my favourite things in the world.
Yeah.
But equally, I'm super comfortable just like instigating conversation with people I've never met. And I like to have a healthy balance of two. And every time I'm trying to, okay, what can be the next thing I do that's going to involve me talking with people that I've never met? What stories can I extract from people, and how can I extract it that's going to make it interesting?
Yeah.
And everything I'd done before The Bench, all my interactions with people I've never met, was in the daytime. And I was just walking late at night, and I thought, wow, what if you just, because it's not the done thing, really, to instigate conversation with people late at night.
Yeah.
We're conditioned to think that's just weird. So I was curious to explore that very theory and say, can you though? Can you just ask people a complete question and just invite them to join you and talk it out? And as you said correctly, Zara, it's about love, life, hopes, ambitions, dreams, everything. Nothing too creepy, I hope.
Yeah, no, but that's why I liked your series so much, though, because it is quite sad how there's just sort of an automatic divide between you and like someone you don't know. And, you know, if you go up to like a stranger and start talking to them, they do find that weird.
Yes.
So like, I liked how your series sort of like, don't know how to explain it, but...
Well, actually, the interesting thing is I don't actually think people do find it weird, and this is something that so the film, I did a short film before this called 61 Hugs, where I experimented what happened if I left my house and asked the first 61 strangers I met for a hug. Now, a lot of people watched that and said, I don't think anybody else could have done that, but I think everybody could have done it. I just think often it's just about your approach.
Yeah.
And I'm very into human behaviour, I'm very into psychology, and I'm very into body language, and I kind of get them all. So I know that if you ask people something in a certain way, then you will get a very odd response because you probably weren't as open, or, do you know what I mean? People pick up on micro expressions, and I'm very conscious of those. So I do think that when you just talk to people and you just open, you're cool about it, people are usually all right.
Yeah. Cool. So out of all the 7 episodes, which one was your favourite to film and why?
To film? The closing episode 7 I really liked because everything was against me. In the final episode, which was called Mike, there was no one in that episode called Mike, but I called it Mike because 2 of the people I spoke to, one of them shared a beautiful story about someone in his life called Mike. And I thought, I'm going to dedicate this episode to him because I'm hoping Mike is going to see this at some point. But what this guy said about Mike was just beautiful. And I was like, oh, that's such a nice thing to share about someone that's important to you, right? But everything was against me in that episode because it was raining, it was wet, it was dark. And I was just talking to people and asking them to stop. And one of the guys that stopped had a T-shirt on. So I was like, wow, why did this guy not tell me to do one? But moreover, some of the things that they said, I don't know if this is going to sound, I don't know if it's going to sound like I'm undermining, but they were quite young. I think they're probably 20, but they had the minds of my granddad. Like, they were just like really into self worth and bettering yourself and never being complacent and always just trying to be the best version of you.
Yeah.
Now, when I was 20, I wasn't talking about that kind of stuff. I just wasn't. So it was just an absolute joy. So many things about that episode delight me, but mainly because they were just so open to it and what they had to share. I think everybody will watch it and think, wow, Jesus, like I wasn't thinking that when I was 20. I don't know, but yeah, it was just, that was really refreshing for me. It was a great surprise. Episode 7, Mike.
Yeah, brilliant. I feel like the reason this series stands out is because it's such a nice idea. Like, I watch a lot of docu-series and they're usually sort of about like negative things like crime, people going missing, prisons, whereas like The Bench is such a simple idea, but it's just so positive. And like after watching the series, like I felt so like warm and like happy, and like it's been a while since a TV series has made me feel like that. So like, how are you driven to be such like an open and friendly person?
Well, that's a beautiful observation. Thank you, and I wholeheartedly agree. I could easily make content that's more cynical or more prank based or is underpinned by negativity. And if I'm to be brutally honest with you, when I was in my 20s, I did. No, I didn't do pranky stuff, but I made prank phone calls in my 20s. I've done all that, so I got it out of my system. But there is enough of that now, and like there's enough of that, and there's enough of celebrity stuff, and I'm just like, wow, like let's just give regular humans, let's make them the story, right? And I just think I don't know, I just feel there's far too much celebrity-based content out there, and I just like to just add a little bit of balance. I just think, this will sound corny as hell, so I'm going to apologise in advance, but I genuinely think that everybody's a celebrity in their own way, because everybody's done something awesome at one point. Everyone's done something really kind, everyone's shown compassion, whatever. Everybody's kind of a celebrity in their own way, and I just think that the more of the celebrity stuff I ran down on X, like, oh, come on. So I genuinely, for that reason, like just shining a light on regular folk, and discovering their celebrity stories. As we discovered in episode 4, I bet his mum looks at him as a little celebrity, episode 4, because he's looking after her. But anyway.
So was there any person that you spoke to in particular during the series whose story inspired or shocked you?
Oh, wow. I think it was more, I just liked people's willingness to engage, sit down and talk, especially when it was raining. Again, like I said, I think collectively the series just made me think, it reinforced what I already thought about humans, that, you know what, humans do want to talk to each other. I actually do think that strangers want to talk to each other, but there's just very rarely an opportunity. That's why I like to create these opportunities. Does that make sense? Yeah. Because I don't know if you got this from the series, but usually people are really open to it for the most part. They were open to having that conversation. And I don't think that has anything to do with me. I think if you went out today and you started talking to someone, I'd be very surprised if anybody said, I'm not interested. I do think people want to talk to each other. I genuinely do think that. So yeah, this just reinforced what I thought already.
Okay, brilliant. What do you hope watchers will learn from the series?
Oh wow, a few people based on my other pieces of content have said, I was doing X, Y, or Z, and I just started talking to this person because I kind of just watched that thing, and I love stuff like that. I mean, I'm not trying to change the world by any stretch of imagination, but I don't necessarily know. I've said this a million times. I actually value entertainment more than like learning life lessons. Like if someone watches something I do and just thinks, oh, that was really nice, I enjoyed that. That's fine. I'm not looking for people to just go and change the world. It's not my job. Yeah. It's not my job. Usually, I just want people to just have a good time watching it, and that's literally all I ever ask. So if people watch it and have a good time, joy.
Yeah.
Yeah.